Okay, it's Saturday, September 16th. I'm going to check this hive out. It was a strong hive. I'm hoping it still is. We'll take a look and find out. Try to do this quick. Got my frame hanger here. Got my smoker. Hopefully it's still smoking. I just still got some smoke. It's smoldering. Okay. Not going real good though. There we go. All right. Some smoke. All right. See how they're doing. Pull the bricks off. Take the cover off. Boy, what was that? Okay. I'm on a hill here, so I turn my lid upside down and kind of use it as a table to put my stuff on. There's also a lot of weeds around, so get her topped off. The bees use their propolis. You can see it there, that gooey stuff. It's usually not that gooey, it usually gets harder, but it's kind of like the glue that they use. Kind of like a combination of glue and caulking. They use it to keep everything together and to seal any gaps. All right, let's look and see what we have here. This is 2 brood boxes and then a honey super. Hopefully they're putting honey in here. We'll find out here in a minute. This one has very little comb built. You can see the next one has very little comb built. I don't understand these bees. I just checked my other hive out and they basically didn't do any activity in the last few weeks. I mean, the hive looks okay, but there's absolutely no activity in there. I'm pretty sure this is almost exactly like it was the last time I looked at it. There's no pollen, no honey. That's supposed to be what this is for. This is called a honey super. That means they're supposed to be filling this up with honey stores for the winter, and they're not. Maybe, I mean, I have 5 hives here, and what I'm wondering is, does my area have enough nectar flow to support 5 hives? Maybe it doesn't. Now this one has a little bit of bees on there, and I can see some nectar in there, so they at least have a little bit in here, and this side too. But that's it in the whole entire top half. I'm going to go in, I'm going to take this box off, the super, and go into the next brood box. I don't know if I'm going to go into both of them, but I want to go into the next one and just make sure everything looks okay down there. I may have to go into the bottom one. I mean, it's busy. It looks like there's activity. Like I said, maybe my area doesn't have enough nectar to support 5 hives. That is a definite possibility. Just saw a hive beetle, so I killed it. Another one, killed it. A few hive beetles won't destroy your hive, but several of them, you know, like hundreds and hundreds of them, they can basically take over your hive and destroy it, or at the very least cause the bees to abscond, which means they take off and don't come back. Anyway, so now we're going to go into the brood box and see what we have here. Hopefully there's more activity going on in here. Let me give it a little shot of smoke. It also kind of keeps my smoker going. this one there's some honey right here. There's lots of nectar. Nectar is basically honey that hasn't got down to the proper humidity level, moisture level, whatever you want to call it. I think it's around 17% or so. Once it gets to, they use their wings to fan it and get it to get down to the right moisture level, and then once it gets to the right moisture level, they cap it with wax, and that's how it stays stored. So that one looks good. I mean, maybe they're using this upper brood box as their honey super, because I don't see any brood. There's some honey right here. A little bit there. This next frame looks a little wonky. I mean, this one is a little wonky. It's got that little weirdness there, but this one definitely weirder. Wonky's when it's not just straight up and down. There's like a little hump there, a little divot there. This was it had wax foundation. You might be able to see the wire there, and then there was a flat sheet of wax for the bees to build out on. I found out from experience that they seem to like wax foundation better than plastic. All my hives so far have been wax foundation or no foundation, and I recently tried plastic foundation, and it's not working out for me. Again, there is a little bit of brood here. I was thinking about pulling this box off, but since there's brood in there, I'm not going to. Since there is brood on there, I'm going to look for a queen. Don't see her on there. There's a funky piece of comb there. I'm just going to push it back up where it's supposed to be. Okay. See a queen on there? Well, it almost looks like the beginnings of queen cells right there, but they're not. They were never finished. Another one there. They might have requeened themselves because it's open. It's not closed. So let's see what goes on here. There's some brood there. That looks like an open queen cell right there. I don't know if you can see that, but if you can see, it's open on the bottom, but it does look like a queen cell. They may have requeened here recently. What happens there is the old queen isn't working out for some reason, or maybe she died. So they will make a new queen. They just take a regular egg and feed it royal jelly. That's why they call it royal jelly, and then she turns into a queen. Oftentimes they'll make more than one. Usually they make several, and the first one to come out will go and kill all the other. Yeah, there's two other cells on here that are open. I really think this hive, you can see them right there. I think this hive requeened recently. But I'm seeing capped brood, so if they did requeen, she's laying eggs and they're doing good. They're starting to get pretty active here. I'm going to give them a little bit of smoke. Getting very happy. Like I said, I was thinking of not putting that honey super back on, but there's a little bit of activity in it. Let me look at this one real quick. There's 2 more frames after this. But yeah, there's some nice capped brood there. Look for the queen on there real quick. She could be down. She could be down in the lower box. There's a good chance when she saw all the activity in the upper part that she did run down if she was up here. But no, I don't see any sign of her. I see just a couple drones. This is the time of the year that the drones are waning. The drones actually don't do anything. They just take up resources. So when it gets close to winter, they get rid of the drones. The queen doesn't lay anymore. They don't get rid of all of them, but they get rid of the vast majority of them. She won't lay any drones anymore. She'll only lay workers because they need the workers to create heat to get them through the winter, and and to go out and forage. And the females, the worker bees, and they do all the work. They do all the building. They do all the foraging. Pretty much do everything. All right, boy, they're getting pretty active here. Give them a little bit of smoke. Okay, this, by the way, this was a split. I honestly can't remember if the split was from last year or earlier this year. I made 2 splits this year. I have to go back and look at my other videos, but I think this was the first split I made of the year. Anyway, get my hanger off, put my honey super back on. Whoops. Don't want the top cover on the bottom. Put that back on, slide it on gently so as to not squish any bees. Line it up real good. Yeah, I'm not going to bother going down here. Now you put the inner cover on. Inner cover gives them a little bit of space and a little bit of venting up here. And then this is the outer cover, telescopic cover. It's called telescopic because it telescopes over. It has some bees in it, so I want to shake them out so I don't squish them. Slide it on to get any bees out of the way. There we go. Put the bricks on. And we're done with that one. I have a couple more, 3 more actually, 3 more hives to check out. I'm going to turn, I think I have enough smoke in here. This is always the scary part. I have to take my glove off to stop the camera, and I'm always afraid one of the bees is going to come zap me while I do that. There is one couple buzzing around here.